Thanks for your support as a channel member, Callum! We've amazingly won the last 2 races in Japan and in Australia. Today we head to Canada, where there could be even more opportunities for glory. Hello folks, and welcome to episode 30 of Haas with F2 and GP2 champions only. We've got race winners Felipe Drugovich and Nico Hülkenberg at the wheel, and we're gearing up for the Canadian Grand Prix. But we can't proceed because we've got car parts missing. I'll get to that in a minute. We did it again last time out in Australia. We won with Nico Hülkenberg. We beat Max Verstappen in a straight fight. For the second race in a row, we've beaten a Red Bull. Well, we actually beat a Red Bull with both drivers in Japan. There you go. You can see it on the right hand side. But it's put us in a fantastic championship position. We are 36 points behind Ferrari, who've not won a race this season as defending champions. And we are, 17 points? 17 points clear of Mercedes, who are in 5th. Alpine are now way behind us because we have just been on a bit of a run in the last couple of races, obviously winning them both. In the Drivers' Championship, Nico Hülkenberg is in 5th place. He's only 6 points behind Fernando Alonso. And Aston Martin have had a pretty good car for much of this season, but Red Bull are starting to press their foot to the accelerator and clear off essentially in the championship standings. Behind the scenes, I've been upgrading a few bits and pieces, so these operational facilities, so the memorabilia room, the tour centre, the helipad, everything that gives us more team attractiveness so we can essentially sign better drivers. Been boosting those, and as you can see here, we are also upgrading the wind tunnel so that we have better parts for the car, so it goes faster, which obviously helps entice better drivers to come and join the team. So we do have a wind tunnel data concern. We're investigating that, but that won't affect the new wind tunnel itself. Now let's look at the missing car parts. We've got a front wing failed on both cars, but good news, we've actually got we've manufactured a new front wing. So if I show you the warehouse, we did have a version 3 of front wing, but it was worse for high and low speed. It's better for brake cooling and medium speed, but the 4th version is better on everything except brake cooling. So we're going to stick those on the 2 cars, and we'll be done with it. So I think that is everything. Let's just make sure we've got all the latest specification parts on the cars. We are manufacturing new side pods, which are slightly better. They give us more top speed, so that'll be good. Latest underfloor, and I believe the latest suspension is on there too. So yes, we are all good. This is how we look then heading into the Canadian Grand Prix. We're about average for top speed, which will keep us just about in the hunt. We're good at low speed, we're good at high speed, although you don't need that so much around Canada. And we've got a very good DRS effectiveness, which should see us be pretty potent when making overtakes today. So I'm going to head to the track and do practice. I'll see you on track for qualifying. Let's see what glory we can achieve today. Major development here in Q2. We've got a red flag, and that is Max Verstappen, who has crashed. Let's see if it will show us a replay of the Red Bull finding the barriers on his outlap. Here we go. The championship leader on an outlap has just driven straight into the wall. I don't understand what happened there. That was really bizarre driving. We were on our outlaps, just about to start a flying lap in Q2, but the championship leader is eliminated already. We have successfully made it into Q3. Sergio Perez setting the benchmark for Red Bull. We're 3rd and 4th quickest so far. Lewis Hamilton's joined us in Q3 with Mercedes, but both Alpines, Max Verstappen and George Russell are eliminated in the second part of qualifying, which means that's really good news for us in terms of our battle with Mercedes. Ferrari don't look particularly quick right now, so maybe we can close the gap on them, but we still need to deliver in Q3. Bear in mind, Drugovich is on a bit of a roll in qualifying. He's qualified 3rd and on pole in the last 2 races, so he's the man in form when it comes to 1 lap qualifying. Let's get to Q3, see what we can achieve. Fresh tyres and a slipstream from the Red Bull of Sergio Perez, who's currently fastest, Drugovich is P2. Hulkenberg didn't do such a great lap and he's 6th at the moment. Hopefully, on new tyres, we get a bit of a performance boost. We did our first run on used tyres from Q2 and Drugovich is not improving in the first sector. Maybe the Aston Martin that we went past put him off a little bit. But maybe in the final sector we can do the damage with the slipstream. Perez seems to be pulling away though. Drugovich not improving. Hulkenberg with the fastest middle sector. And that's a Ferrari. Please, hopefully doesn't get in our way. I don't think it did. So here we go. Perez is going to set the next benchmark. He does a 110.8. Drugovich, 11.7. Hulkenberg goes onto the front row. We're still 4 tenths shy of the Red Bull. So no pole position today, but maybe, just maybe, we can be on the front row. Let's see what everybody else can do. Alonso hasn't beaten us. I don't think Hamilton will. Who else is on a lap? Alonso stays 4th. Anybody else on a lap? Maybe Leclerc could get ahead of us in the Ferrari. He does. He goes 2nd. So we lock out the 2nd row of the grid, which is actually a really good position to be in. We can follow the lead cars and just sit in the DRS. To be fair, Leclerc, that is really not much at all, is it? It's 0.02 of a second back to Hulkenberg. Disappointed with Drugovich's final lap there. He didn't really put it together, but you know, Perez, all 3 sessions he was in the 1 minute 10s, and not many other people, well, no one else did that. So credit to him. Let's get to the grid. Well, actually, we'll go to the strategy department first and set that up, and then we'll get to the motor race. We're opting for a 2-stop strategy once again here at Haas. It's soft, medium, soft. It's quite a good way to run the Canadian Grand Prix because anyone who tries to do a 1-stop is left exposed late on. And also, you tend to get the advantage of a safety car through this as well. So maybe there will be some chaos with safety cars. We've already seen Verstappen causing a red flag in qualifying. We've got 100% setup satisfaction. We're underfueled by a couple of laps. So I think we've got a great chance today of at least a podium, maybe another win. But let's secure a podium first. We will get Drugovich to sit behind Hulkenberg early on unless he's clearly quicker. But the idea is to just go with Leclerc and Perez in a DRS train and pull away from everybody else. Let's get to the track and do a motor race. We're on a bit of a roll here at Haas, and long may it continue. 5 red lights in Montreal, the lights are out, the race is on. Hulkenberg makes a decent getaway. Leclerc, I think, is on mediums, and the German is going roaring up the inside. But Leclerc with the inside line for turn 2 will hang on to the position. Drugovich is just about fending off Fernando Alonso, I think. Unless the Aston Martin's going to sneak through. Looks like it might. Let's get the battle assist deployed. And I think we might just be okay. Well, Alonso's putting his nose in where it's not wanted, really. But we've resisted. That's good news. We are 3rd and 4th where we started. Our race is really coming together here. That is Charles Leclerc leading the race. And that's Nico Hulkenberg overtaking Sergio Perez. That's Alonso in the background who's dropped back a bit. But Leclerc on those mediums, going very nicely. We're now into P2. In fact, make that P1. Hulkenberg takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Oh, amazing stuff. But Drugovich, he's dropped to 7th. It's really not working out for him. He's just not got the pace. I don't know what's going on with him. He's on low overtake aggressions. Maybe we get him to be a bit more aggressive with his overtakes. Leclerc retakes the lead from Hulkenberg, but we're just DRS swapping, which is fine by me. Gives us free lap time. We'll top up the battery a bit actually while we're in this train. Hulkenberg's in the fight for the lead, but we're about to remove him from it as we bring him in for a pit stop. We've got a yellow flag. Not sure who that's for, but it's Magnussen's had a spin as he exited the pit lane. Decent stop for Hulkenberg, 3.1 seconds. Drugovich, 3.2 seconds. So that'll do nicely for us. We pop out just behind Max Verstappen, who's not made huge amounts of progress, to be honest. So we'll attack on our tyres, get them up to temperature, and deploy our battery. We might undercut Perez and Alonso, who are scrapping it out for the lead. They've been looking after their tyres, so maybe they're doing some sort of 1-stop. which could leave them exposed later on. Fernando Alonso is in the pit lane. If I can get hold of him, it looks... Oh, was that a slow stop? Oh, yeah, it was. And Hulkenberg will be comfortably clear. What about Drugovich? He won't be able to get ahead, but he's not that far behind. Hulkenberg is... Well, he's 6 seconds ahead of Verstappen, who's right ahead of Alonso. So it's about 7 seconds now we're ahead of Alonso, having been basically right behind him when we stopped. So the undercut has worked perfectly. Sergio Perez is in the pit lane and he pops out just ahead of Alonso. So Alonso's slow stop has hurt him, but we are now comfortably in the net lead. Leclerc, he's probably one stopping, but whether he goes to hards or softs, I'm not sure. We're closing in on him at the moment by 0.8 of a second per lap. And there is the Ferrari. We've got a McLaren ahead of us. I think that's Piastri who's running last. He gets out of our way. But we are in a really good position right now. We're looking good for at least a top 5. But this is Canada. It's a street circuit. And a safety car can turn everything completely on its head. Both of our drivers have had the call to box. That's Hulkenberg with DRS as he enters the pit lane. So what's Perez's tyre wear like? 71%. He's going to the end of this race. We've got some overtakes to do. And we've got to essentially make up an entire pit stop on the soft tyres. We need a good stop here, please, everybody. No, no, no. Why? Why? Why do we have a slow stop then? Of all the times. Here comes Drugovich. Hopefully it's a better stop for him. Is it? Yes, of course it is. So, we need to overtake Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez and make up 20 seconds on the race leader. So, here's what I'm going to do. Deploy the battery. We're going to get driving in clean air. And then with DRS, we should hopefully move ourselves through this pack. Going to turn the overtake aggression back up to medium. We'll start sending it at different points. Drugovich has 12 seconds to make up to Sainz, who is chasing Verstappen. Actually, that's this group, if I can get my words out, that Hulkenberg has dropped out in the middle of and is now ahead of Charles Leclerc in. So Hamilton's his next victim, and I'm sure we'll go past with some DRS here, hopefully. No, Hamilton defends. Oh, we're side by side through the chicane, and with the DRS, we will make that stick. Up into P4. Let's go. Up into P3. Hulkenberg's on for his 3rd straight podium. We had momentarily dropped behind Leclerc, but we soon restored order. Wow, that was perilously close to Stroll taking us out of the race. Hulkenberg survives and is into P3. He's 5 seconds behind Alonso, 17.5 behind Perez. We've not actually made a huge amount of ground to the lead Red Bull. And we have caught Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. We're going to drive in clean air and easy as you like. P2 belongs to Nico Hulkenberg. Let's attack on the tyres, put a gap between ourselves and Alonso. We've got a little bit of fuel to recover with both drivers. Let's see if we can close this gap to Perez and put him under a bit of pressure. His tyres are still okay, but once they hit 50%, they will be much less quick than ours, and we might be able to close down the gap late on, but we need to get rid of this pesky Alonso fella off our gearbox and pull away. What was the lap time last time around? We were a second quicker than Perez, but we did have DRS to make an overtake. Let's check back in on lap, say, 67 and see where we are. Okay, lap 69 has just begun. We are still 7 seconds adrift and we've got some fuel to save. So we're going to settle for a second place here with Nico Hulkenberg. Charles Leclerc's got himself up into P3. Felipe Drugovich just hasn't caught that group at all. He's 25 seconds clear of Gasly. And yeah, the two-stop strategy, it did play Drugovich into a good position, but having to make that second stop, he's just not had the pace to catch those around him. So he'll have to settle for 9th, which I suppose, if we're getting Drugovich regular point scores, that's the job we need him to do as Perez begins the final lap. Hulkenberg still with a gram of fuel to recover, but we will do that on the final lap. And yeah, we're going to go 3 straight races on the podium with Nico Hülkenberg, a P2, a P1, and now a P2. He's absolutely the man in form. Perez is about to cross the line to win the race. There you go. But Nico Hülkenberg, get your clap emojis in the chat. He went so long without a podium, but now he cannot stop getting them. It's P2, P1, P2 for Nico Hülkenberg. Haas very much in with the front runners right now. And hopefully we can keep developing the car to keep it there. Drugovich, disappointing considering where he started, but there's a lot of fast cars and fast drivers there. So no shame in coming home in P9. Good job from him. Good job from the team. But that slow stop that Hülkenberg had probably put him behind Hamilton and Leclerc. Maybe it cost us a race win. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. There's Checo Perez celebrating on the podium with Charles and Nico. We're getting our trophy. We're getting used to this. Good thing we upgraded the memorabilia room because we've got somewhere nice to store our trophies now, haven't we? And these empty bottles of champagne which we can label up from where they're from. And yeah, the celebration begins. And we will dive into the results. So Perez wins. Hülkenberg second from third on the grid. We jumped ahead of Leclerc. So that was good from us. In the Drivers' Championship, Hülkenberg now moves into third ahead of Alonso because we've... What's the tiebreaker there? Maybe it's... I don't know what the tiebreaker is. It must be the worst result possible, or maybe the fastest lap that we've got, possibly. But yeah, Hülkenberg is Red Bull's closest challenger now. Let's see what it's done for the constructors. Okay, we've gained 1 point on Ferrari. It's really not done much at all, but we've moved 10 further clear of Mercedes. Alpine are suddenly a distant memory back in P6. So yeah, we're going great guns. And maybe we can catch Ferrari, but you know, if we can lock down P4 or P5, that would be perfect. More podiums, please. Well done to Nico Hülkenberg for today's result. The podiums just keep on coming, don't they? And long may it continue. Make sure you smash the big thumbs up button, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more F1 Manager content coming soon. And I'll see you at the next race, which I believe is Qatar. You're the best fans. It's bye for now.